Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Merlin. Hope you're doing well. First and foremost, apologies for not being on for the last month as I've been heads down in the game of Satisfactory 1.0. Following its upgrade from early access to 1.0, it's been a very addictive game and it's kept me busy. We're going to rectify that today though, as this is the first of hopefully 3 new Let's Play series that I will be releasing over the coming days and weeks. And then with each game that this kind of brings about, we're hoping to expand the game as it gets through, so give you a bit more tips and hints as we go along. I've been playing this particular game for about a week and a half. It's just to make you aware, it's a squad, a turn-based combat RPG open world, amongst other things. And what we're going to do is today start with the basics, just to get you interested into the game itself. I do have saved kind of games alongside this at the moment, and what I will do is we'll start off how you would begin the game. So in other words, what's the basics to get into the start, and then what will then happen is that I will then integrate the saved game that I've got, because most of the gameplay is kind of repetitive in a way. So by the time we get to my existing saved game, you would hopefully have known a bit more about how the game works. As you can see in front of you, we've got options like any game, so we will get straight into it. Now, the new game is where we'll start for this, and the first thing you do is you choose your destiny. Now, you've got different options down the side here. Now, I've got a few more than I had begin with, so when you've played for the first time, you only have these first 5. Once you've played a few times, like I have, a few more become available. So, for example, here, Shipwrecked Pirate Crew isn't available from day 1. And neither is Associates Looking for a Village where they can set a tavern up. Now the reason is because these are add-ons, and I'll come to them later. But we're going to just concentrate on these first to begin with. Now I'm not going to tell you how to choose your destiny. It's entirely up to you how you do it. I've done some kind of research whilst playing the game, and I've got to a situation where I want to be in my game. And that was basically making sure that my original crew had a swordsman, an archer, a ranger, and a brute. And the pretty much the only way you can do that is with apprenticeship friends looking for an adventure. You already get a decent amount of influence to begin with, but you do lose a few raw materials at the start. Now, that's easy rectify when you go into town. So this is what I've chosen. Obviously, I'm not going to go through every single one. I'll let you do that for yourself, but this is the one that I've chosen. And I will go through the reasons of my team in due course, because there is a specific reason why I've chosen the team I have got. We then have your kind of like positive options. So basically what you will gain. So for example here, used for long walks means that it reduces the speed how quickly your troop tires. You've got experience gained from combat and battles, and obviously learning your profession. So for the purpose of this, I am going to go with actually the critical damage. So it gives you a bit more critical damage. Then you have your negative debuffs. So basically, if you had a flaw, what would it be? So again, you have your choice, and there's 5 to choose from. And the irony is, if I've just increased that by 10%, then for me, if I choose that one, it reduces it by 3%, which means mine got a net plus of 7%. So that's how I would choose, how I would go from there. Now, so that's kind of where we're at the moment. Okay, so you've done what you needed to do, and there would have been an additional screen that you would have faced, which was basically seeing your companions for the first time. That's 4 humans and an animal. In this case, I've named my pony Arthur. And I've changed some of the names of the companions. Again, you can change them how you see fit accordingly. So you've done everything you need to do. You've got past the first screen, and this is where you begin. This is your opening point. If you click on M for the map, you will see that we've got nothing done so far. As you can see, it's kind of empty. So obviously we will do that in due course. So like I said, we're going to run across just quickly top of the screen. Your knowledge points is what you will gain. So in the bottom right hand corner here, there's a compendium. And again, we'll cross that in a moment. But this is where you get your knowledge points, goes into your compendium. You have, this is to do with scenarios of your Pacific region. So again, we're not ready to do anything yet. And this is your suspicion level. So if you start stealing things, your level will go up. It's 100 per star. Obviously, if you get 500 5 stars, everybody's going to be chasing you around the countryside. So you know, It's entirely up to you how you want to play the game. I mean, I've tried to stay away from stealing as much as possible. I mean, people do say stealing is part of the game. That's entirely up to you. And on the right hand side, you have your happiness level, which will grow each time you rest. You have your influence, your valor points, your food, and how many days food you've got available to you with the troop you've got. Your money, which is crowns. And then in the bottom right hand corner, we have some symbols here, which is your camp, your inventory, your world map, which you've just seen, the compendium, and the paths. So what we'll do is we will address each of those as they turn up. Now, one of the things that it's wise to do as you go forward is anything that's got like a star or by it, collect as much as you can. Now, you are limited to what you can carry. So if we were to go just for inventory purposes, you have a maximum amount that you can carry, which at the moment is currently 81, and you're carrying 30.9. So be careful that what you are carrying doesn't exceed that. You can still move, but you move very, very slowly. So let's just head over, and we will get to this person in a moment. So again, you just pick up what you got. And yes, there's a little alert that's just come up, but we'll cross that again in a moment as well. So here is your first combat. Now we're going to go into combat in more detail as we move forward, but just to get the initial point across, we'll just show you where we're at. So basically, as it says on the screen, when your turn comes to play, you can play any unit you haven't played in the round. You can also find out which enemy will come into play next. So, for example, at the bottom here, this gives you the option of which people that you can use. Sorry, not which people. This gives you the fact that it's your turn, and then you can choose who you want to utilize first on that basis. Before you start, you do also have starting positions. So if you wanted to, you can move people around to the starting positions. So for example, if you didn't want that person there, you can move them over here. And the same goes with this. So for example, if you wanted that person there, like that. Okay. Notice the pony isn't involved in this. And again, we'll come to animal usage later on. So now that you're ready to go, we'll start the ball rolling. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen here, especially early on, these are the terms that, or the turn that's available to you. So you can walk or you can do damage or whatever the case may be. So this is going to be quite straightforward. So we're just going to move across to this guy. Actually, we're going to burn him. And then we are going to pound this guy. Okay, and so when you perform a melee attack for the first time, you become engaged, which means that enemy cannot engage anybody else at the same time, so they'll be focused on you. Once you finish what you're doing, you can end your turn, and then the next person's available. So in this case, this person, or you can choose anybody that hasn't already moved. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this person in behind here. And we're going to do exactly the same again. Although in this case as well, you can use a valor point. I mentioned earlier on the valor points at the top of the screen. Each person has the number of valor points available to them. Once you've used them, unless they're recoverable with certain benefits and buffs, you will lose them for the rest of the battle. So we're going to taunt our enemy. So he now engages with you rather than the one before. And then you can now attack him. Okay, and again, nothing more we need to do. End of turn. And we're going to move this one now. So actually, we're going to click on you, and we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to move him on this side. Okay, and we are going to do exactly the final same again. Although I don't think I've moved far enough across. No, I haven't. So I need to move one more little space across. There you go. Because I wanted to get the surround bonus. So if you surround with 3 people or more, you will get a bonus. And we'll do exactly the same again. Bang. And that's him done. End of story. Now, obviously, you loot stuff from what's available. So in this situation, we've got a weapon, we've got some leather, and you can, if you want to, pick up the human remains. You can sell them in the local town for a coin a go. Now the only issue is they weigh 10 kilos or 10 units, whatever you want to do it. So if you don't want, especially early on, if you don't want to kind of clog up your inventory weight limit just for the purpose of getting one coin, then leave them where they are. Click on continue, and that's your first venture into to kind of combat. Now while we're here, I'm going to pause the game so it doesn't go into dead to night time, but we're going to have a bit closer look at the companions, because basically we've got an arrow here that says we can level up our companion. Now I mentioned to you at the beginning that my personal choice of starting crew was one of each. So you had your brute, you had your swordsman, your archer, and your ranger. Again, looking on things that I've researched and how the game is played, you don't, although the number of companions you have is unlimited, obviously it's based on the amount of food that you're providing for them, so you don't want to overflow the fact that you're kind of like, say, 10 companions and you haven't got a great deal of food coming in. So I kind of got to the point where, along with other people, 6 or 7 people companions wise, not animals but companions, seems to be the kind of the best sort of limit. The other reason behind that is that when you come to combat on a bigger scale shortly, so when you see other people or groups of people, the more people you have, the more people they will have. So it's kind of like, I think it's like a 20% increase. So if, say, for example, I've got 4 people, then I might face a group of 5. If I've got 10, then I might face a group of 12. So, you've got to be a bit wary that if you're going to have multiple companions, that's great, but you're going to have multiple enemies as well. So let's look at what we got here. So basically we have our brute, and this is what we call your tank. This is the biggest one. This is the one that starts off with your armor. And my personal choice with this is that this is the guy that carries a heavy weapon and a heavy shield. At the moment, they're kind of minimal because we haven't been anywhere yet. But this is kind of like where you begin with your tank. You build up your tank accordingly, and you are able to add your points up. Now, primarily, the best way, or to say the first choice of increasing your points, should be your willpower. The reason is, if you get to 15 points, as it says here, the first time they die in combat, they will survive. So you will recover them. Anything under 15, they don't. So we'll click on that. And also, whenever there's a cross, if there's 1 cross, increases by 1 point. 2 will increase it by 2 points. These are the number of points you have available to you. So there's 1. But it does allow you on occasions to double up. There you go. Now also it increased my critical hit because I increased my willpower, and that was one of the benefits of this. Now, again, my personal choice with the brute is that you go for the destroyer, because you will be wielding heavy helmets, heavy armor, which means you are giving more armor to that person, because they first and foremost are your front line. They're the ones that take a lot of the damage. And again, my personal choice for that as well is that you can apply a weakening blow using one of your valor points, which means they weaken their opponents for a certain number of rounds. Okay, and then that's that one upgraded. We'll just go back over here. There's nothing more we need to do at the moment on that basis, so we can just leave him alone. We're going to move across. I'm going to go to the swordsman next. He is your kind of like your sub tank, your second tank. Again, carries a shield and a sword in this case. And again, you'd want those two to be your kind of like main bulk of your defense to begin with. So they'll take like the arrows from the archers and minimal damage from people that are kind of stabbing and swishing their swords at you. The other two speak for themselves. So an archer is going to have a bow, and will have light kind of equipment, and the ranger, this is like your ranger assassin. So again, it's sort of like it will have armor, but it'll be between the tanks and the archers. Now, what we'll do is we'll go into more details on your companions as and when you come to be able to kind of upgrade them, specifically, and also regarding professions. We'll come to that as well. So you've done what you need to do at the moment. Of course, I forget Arthur. Here is your pony at the moment to begin with. And again, he is carrying an extra 10 kilos because he's automatically come with a satchel. And again, the more animals you get, the more you can obviously upgrade your carrying capacity or speed if necessary. And again, they are subject to things like willpower and stuff like that. Now, what we're going to do first of all, before I go anywhere else, there are two areas within the start of the game that I feel that you would want to deal with first of all. The first one is a mine around here. And again, this will come back to what we said about professions in a moment. Because, I'll just pause it here again, so just a second. Because there are multiple professions available and each profession provides its own benefit. If you're only having 6 people, for example, in your group, there's more than 6 professions. So you want to choose your professions wisely. And I have a list of professions that I would prefer to choose for each of my companions, which I'll address shortly. However, mining isn't one of them. But you can get a fair amount of ore early on, so you need to kind of allocate the profession to them to want them to be a miner and then change their profession later. Which is why I want to go to the mine first. We'll come back to him in a minute. I don't really want to worry about him at the moment. Now, every location, well, generally every main location, the mine isn't one by the look of it, but you will gain knowledge, but it didn't pick up on that one. So let's head into the mine.
Stop right there. This salt mine belongs to her ladyship Gontran. I can't just let you walk in.
So basically he's saying, go away. However, you have options available too, so you can just do that and leave. You can either pay the guy, so in this case it would cost us 40 crowns. You can threaten him, which means your wanted list will go up by 60 points. At this early point in the game, you don't want to do that. Or you can persuade him using your influence. So I generally persuade the guy early on.
As you wish. We can't mine the salt because of these 2 iron veins anyway. I really don't understand why you were so keen to go in there.
So basically now he's saying that if you wanted any salt, you couldn't get it anyway because there are 2 iron elements here, which is why I was saying about miner. Now I wasn't interested in salt, I was interested in the iron ore. So this is where it comes straight away with a new profession available, so miner, and this is where you allocate someone to be a miner for the purpose of this role. Now, the reason why I was saying about professions being kind of like solid or kind of semi-permanent is as you kind of build up, you go from novice to apprentice to master and so on, an expert. If you change professions on a companion, you lose any experience that you've done already. Now early on, going to be a miner and then changing it to something else, so like say for example a blacksmith, it doesn't make any difference early on because there's not a lot of experience that you've kind of lost. So we're just going to pick somebody, so let's just pick the guy we've got at the moment in front of us. And basically it tells you what you need to do. So the circle will come up, and as soon as it goes green, you click on you use your mouse to click on it. And the reason is you click on the green, you get more iron ore out. And that's 5 times. And obviously the ring gets smaller each time on that basis. We'll do the same with this one. So again, he's automatically been selected. And again, got some nice iron ore on that basis. Now we can go back and talk to the miner.
You cleared out the iron deposits? Well done. We can get back to work.
And he is going to give us influence back, for 20 influence, which is obviously what we used to get in the first place. Okay, so we can now leave where we're at, and the other place I want to go to is a mill just north of the town that you'll probably base yourself. For the purpose of practice, let's just deal with this guy. This shouldn't take too long.
Them refugees. We'll toss them out ourselves. We'll toss them all out. Yeah, I been drinking. We all have. How'd you know? You seers or something? Never mind. Leave us be. We've got refugees to clear out of Tiltrin.
So again, you get your options. So option 1 is to give the alcoholic some wine and you'll get influence back. Option 2 is to leave. Option 3 is to attack and you'll get 5 leather. So I'm going to attack. And bearing in mind that we're quite early on, there'll either be no other people accompanying her or there might be one other person. I think she's on her own actually. So again, this should be fairly straightforward. We are going to move... I'll leave him where he is and we'll put that person there. We'll start with him. And as you can see here, remember when we put him on Destroyer, he's now got an extra option to do. So we're going to come at the back here again. I'm going to use the Weakening Blow first because it's one of the only Valor point he has available. So like with most turn-based games, you want to use your more powerful items first. So like I don't know if he's played Marvel Strike Force or Galaxy of Heroes for Star Wars. You will have kind of generally 3 options. You will have your basic, your mid, and your most powerful turn usage. And obviously, the more powerful the turn, the less chance you use them. So this is why you kind of use them first. And that's the end of that one. And we're going to do the same with this one. We're going to move right behind her. And we're going to do the same again. And we're going to do that. And then we'll do, in fact, 12 left. Actually, I'm going to use the archer if we didn't use the archer last time. So we're going to move forward a little bit. Now be careful when you do shoot arrows because sometimes you're not careful. You can shoot your own people. Okay, and finally... this person, we're going to move them around there, surround them, and this should be it. Now you might notice this time Argent didn't have any Valor points. Oh, I'll wait for that to happen. You might notice this time that Argent didn't have any Valor points, and that's because you recover your Valor points when you rest, and we haven't rested yet. So again, we're going to look at everything we've got, and we're going to continue. Now, looking at the inventory, we have a nice shield, which primarily I would put on my my brute or destroyer now. And if you look at the comparison, this person will gain the shield he's got at the moment. He's got 9 guard and 2 armor. This will go 9 and 4. So we're going to equip that. Just literally right click it to equip it. And we'll do the same with Argent because he's the other one with the shield. And again, his shield is exactly the same, so we don't need to change his shield. We'll also look at the dagger as well. So you can see if you've got a dagger here, if you can't apply it, it'll tell you can't apply it. So the dagger will go to the ranger. So we'll go to the ranger. Now this one's got a dexterity of 2 with a stab skill as well. This one will give you an extra point on dexterity, which is good. It will give you poisoning rather than stab. And I think that's just as good. So we'll do that. That's that one done. Okay, but also this one can be upgraded as well. Now, there are various different upgrades available as you go through depending on your levels. So, for example, in this situation, we are upgrading for Valor point purposes. Now, with regards to Rangers, because... Actually, let's go through what we've got at the moment on the basis and I'll explain the reason why I choose the one I've got in question. So, you have got, in this case, every time a unit ends their turn next to an enemy and is not engaged, you get 1 Valor. This is like every time you kill an enemy, you get 1 Valor. And this is when you support, if you're standing next to an ally and not engaged, you get a point. Now, Rangers are known to be close up working as well as your swordsmen and your brutes. And they're also assassins as well. So I would also choose... They're more likely to do this one than the others. So I'm going to click on that. And again, because first choice would normally be willpower, but I haven't got anything, I'm going to make the benefit of using 2 points on my critical. And then that's that person upgraded as well. Okay, so now we're going to head over to the number mill. These are refugees, and again I'll come across that in due course. We found the stables where you can gain more ponies, and we'll come back to that. But because we have found this location, it's given us a knowledge point, so we'll use that now. And again, personal choice. You choose what you like, but for me, the first one I like to choose is smooth talking, and that's because your companions become great spokespersons who can talk to anybody into joining their ranks. Bonus, recruitment cost of companions reduced by 10%. So, for example, when you go to the tavern, if you want to recruit somebody from the tavern, it's not going to cost you as much as it did without this. The one that runs alongside this one is fast training. So next time you get a knowledge point, or the 2 in this case, it kind of helps you. They'll gain aptitude points straight away. So we're going to head on through here. And again, Stromkop is the main town in this area, but again, we'll come back to that in a minute. I want to head over to the lumber mill. Now, in my opinion, this is obviously just a game. However, the morale part of this one is something that doesn't sit with me very well, and it may not with other people as well. But it's what they put into the game. Maybe they will remove it in due course. But if I kind of let it play out, you'll understand why I'm a bit dubious on this. So we've got the lumber mill, and basically you have a look around. Obviously, you can inspect things that are available, but of course you can't. If you want to steal them, it kind of increases your wanted level. An early game is not an ideal situation. You've got a locked door here, and it says use ornate key. Well, ironically, the ornate key is in this box, so just take that, unlock it, and go downstairs. Now you're in a basement. We're just going to take what's in here first of all. So we're just going to click on both of these.
This woman promised us honest labour, and look what we got. We're treated worse than slaves, and the guard turns a blind eye. But then again, why would anyone help Ediranian refugees? Don't hurt me! If they flog me one more time...
Okay, so we know that in the basement, this lady who's now disappeared, and I'll explain why in a minute, she is keeping refugees as slaves to work the mill. Now, let's just leave this building a minute.
Sadly for you, ransacking a slaver's basement tends to be a bad idea.
So literally on here with this, I'm not going to click on negotiate because it's going to use influence, and I'll explain the reasons why. The element of this quest is the fact that you can get a regular income if you capture refugees and sell them to her. So she will give you wood and she will give you money. Now, this is just me. It's not something that sits well with me, and I'm kind of more happy to kind of bypass this particular thing by just getting rid of her. In all fairness, I know it's a game, and I know people say, well, that's a bit silly thinking about this, but it's personal choice, like with anything with this game. But this is the only thing that I find within this game that doesn't sit well with me, so I'm going to fight her. It's slightly red, which means potentially she has the advantage, but hopefully we can get around that. And she has one additional hoodlum. Now, if I was to come back later with my save game, I would have 6 companions, then she'd probably have about 4. So again, we're going to kind of move to where we're going to move him over there, put him there. So he's kind of like, I'm moving that one. Actually, I'll put that one there. There we go. So we're going to start with Percival. He's the one that gives you the most damage. Okay, end of turn. We're going to move this one. We'll move her. Oh, no, we don't want to cancel turn. We want to move. And move that. And we want to shoot. So again, it's a bit difficult there to shoot. You're going to hit him. I'll show you what happens if you do that. So your relationship between the archer and the destroyer has deteriorated because you hit the wrong person. So we're going to move to there, and we're going to attack. Now you may remember this is the ranger, and it has a passive valorous victor. So if it was to kill this person, which they hadn't on this occasion, she would then gain a point there. Now again, we're going to start with him. We're going to try and get him down. And this time we're going to move this person around a bit more so we don't end up shooting our own individual. Right, so I'm going to strike. I'm going to disengage. So basically the poison's taken effect. So a dying unit will now only move. They will not attack anymore. So I'm going to move this person away. Now to stop them from dying, you would have to apply first aid. So this person hasn't got first aid, unfortunately. So we're just going to go. And hopefully it'll be all done before. I was going to see if anyone's got first aid. I think it's this. No, is it? So no one's got first aid at the moment. So we're going to have to hope that we do both of these in one go. Or in this round anyway. So let's start with this one. One down. And we'll do the same with this guy. Move him in behind. Pound away. And you get the occasional animation scene as well, which is really good. So we're going to loot everything we got. And we're going to heal. We've got medicine to heal, so we're going to heal. Actually, no, we're not going to. I'm going to show you a different route in just a moment because we're going to go straight into town. We're going to loot this place first, though. So we can now take options out of here. That's that one done. And there's something else. So we'll pick up the hemp. And there's another one here. And we can also cut some wood while we're here. So same sort of lines as with being the miner. We'll do exactly the same with this person. Again, this is the other profession that actually is a short-term effect. You don't really need to worry long-term. Okay, that takes care of that. We can exit that, and we're going to head into town. Now, while we're doing that, there's a couple of things that have appeared in the inventory. We've got a work manual, which you just right-click. It increases your knowledge point up here. And we also have a helmet, or a hat anyway. And this is a light hat, so this should probably fit on the archer, which I think is this one. Yep. Nope, not that one. Okay, is it this one then? Maybe because we've not actually allocated them to their relevant increases yet. So let's increase him. So the archer, going by their upgrade, because they are ranged units, they're more likely to be better supported than they are with the others. And again, first choice, always increase willpower first. Okay, and then if we go back to their main screen, hopefully now we should be able to... No, not yet. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. I think it may be then when you get to here, this is when you're... yeah, so on the level 3 is when you can choose your options, and that's when they'll be able to take the equipment. So we're going to head into town. Okay, now this is the town that I kind of operate out of on my other save game, and as you can see, there are several icons. So first of all and foremost, we're going to go to the blacksmith. We're going to talk to the blacksmith.
You can use my anvil. I can also repair your armor. Oh, and I'm looking to hire a skilled blacksmith, if you happen to know one.
Okay, so this guy sells raw materials and coal. We've got raw materials at the moment. Now, whenever you finish a battle and it says about repairing your armor, you would utilize your raw materials. However, if you're in the town, you can, rather than using your own supply, you can get them to do it for a small amount of money. So in this case, it's 20 coins.
A few dents here and there.
And that's done.
Nothing more.
Okay.
There.
Perfect.
Good as new.
So we'll leave him. You can also see there's a forge here where you would sit your to do your own forge of armor and weapons. So we're going to click on that. Now this is one of the preferred professions to keep, so blacksmith. And again, with some research that's been done, the person that I would choose to be the blacksmith is the swordsman. And now apparently this is to do with benefits that outweigh any of the others. So let me just... So obviously, if you've already got a profession, you need to right-click and choose the profession you need. So again, you're going to lose any bonus points you had from the miner, which is really not a major issue. So we're going to go to the blacksmith. And it gives you strength. So straight away, it gives you 1 extra strength. Okay. Now we'll open up. So we'll confirm him. And we'll open up our companion. And we'll open it up to the Argent. And basically, again, I said, gives you that 1 extra point on strength here. Now, I could put it on Percival, our brute, but he's better off being a cook because he gets benefits for being a cook, which outweigh benefits of being a blacksmith for him. So we'll close him down. Okay. Now, here's the things that you can start to craft or construct, and one of the things that comes up straight away is your Taj shields. As you can see, they give better guards and better armor and protection. Both of our shield owners at the moment have got 9 and 4 and 9 and 2. So straight away you can see if you can kind of do both of them, you're going to get 10 and 5 on both cases. So we're going to forge 2 of those. Now, you will see this yourself, but the general rule of thumb is that as soon as it starts to light, be prepared to hit it. If you can catch it when it starts to spark, you'll get a better response. So the whole idea is that actually rather than 10 and 5, we've got 12 and 7 because we hit them the right levels. So the general idea is to, even if you just hit the plates, it's fine, you'll get the basic, but if you can kind of hit them at the right time, you will get differing quality depending on how many plates you turn gold. We'll do the same again. We need 2 of these. Oh, no, I don't want to throw a knife. I want a Taj. Okay, so this one we got 11 and 6 because we missed a couple, and that's fine. You know, it's not a major problem. It helps, but it's not a major problem. So, and then as you can see, it helped our companion build up some levels. So here we go. Here he is now an apprentice now rather than a novice, and he's now got an extra strength point. So it's going to make him up to 8 strength points. We won't do anything else for the time being. Armor would be another option for the other two, but we're okay as we stand at the moment. So what we're going to do is we are going to do the same with both. We will keep this particular one because if we do eventually get another kind of warrior or another brute or something down the line, because I know although 6 is my kind of best way forward, on my other save I've got 7, so we will keep that for the time being, and we can leave the forge. The town hall, literally you just speak to this person, they talk a lot of rubbish.
Mercenaries. I'll have you know that we do not take kindly to refugees in these parts. Why, you ask? Because they have overrun our streets and are now taking to the roads. Erdogan is sending our way anything with legs and a mouth that cannot wield a sword. You have your work cut out for you. There is no lack of honest folk in need of help to fend off the refugee menace.
Nothing else you need to do in here. It literally is that. And when you spoke to her once, you just repeat the same thing over and over. We will now go to the apothecary, how to pronounce it. And again, we saw at the end of the last battle that we could heal somebody.
My concoctions can heal the most grievous injuries. Be sure to hold on to the vials after using them.
So again, same with the blacksmith. You can heal basically for a cost of coins, or you can use your own supplies. Now, because supplies are hard to come by, just going to use that.
There. I hope you will be more careful next time.
And again, each of the people you see, the blacksmith, the apothecary, the marketplace, are also tradespeople. So basically, you can sell as well as buy. Obviously, as thing goes on, you can buy different things, like for example, sharpening oil, help with your weapons and things like that. And again, you've got a crafting table. Now, with regards to, you can hear the cat in the background. That's what you can hear. With regards to being an alchemist is better for being as an archer. So we're going to choose our archer to be an alchemist. And if we go into the archer, they give you an extra dexterity point for that basis. So it kind of helps on there. And again, you can see here, you can do your own medicine, but you need to have certain items to do so. And certain oils, same thing as well. So as your time goes on, you will pick up things as you go along. But so we're going to leave the building now because the cat really wants to have a go. Although you can't see the cat. Our next port of call is the inn. We'll go to the inn here. And this is basically as you expect it to be. You have the bar, you have recruits, and you have an emissary, and you have an informant. Now we'll go to the informant first.
You. Yeah, you. You looking for work? I can give you tips and point you toward the best missions. The kind that pays much better than the measly rewards the Mercenary Guild has to offer.
So, as we mentioned at the start of the game, this particular thing here is to do with scenarios that you come across. This particular area right here, so that you come across if you haven't started yet. These, when you complete these ones, they add on points to your level here until you get to 100 and finish the actual scenario in question. So let's just say, for argument's sake, let's go this one. Right, so we're going to click on this one. We're going to use 50 of our influence, and it tells you on the map where it is. So we're going to the map. You can see, so this is where we are at the moment, and this is where the kind of quest is. We're going to talk to the emissary next. So this is kind of like where you can get.
Be looking for work? Our role as emissaries is to ensure that all service requests are fulfilled. We regularly update our job offers.
Okay, so we're going to review the board, see what's available, and as you can see, you had different levels, easy, average, and hard. A lot of these are based on what you have in your troop. So, for example, the people we have on our troop, the easy ones, that's why it's easy. Obviously, it's looking like on this one here, Matthias Lund is a very dangerous person. And with the troop you've got at the moment, you would be absolutely annihilated to go with him because it's just hard. You can choose up to 3 to begin with. So we're just going to put the first 3 on the board. And away you go. And again, they appear on the map as red. Okay. We'll look at the recruits next. So again, with regards to the recruits, it depends on obviously what money and what food you have available to yourself. So, but also what skill set they have. So for me, I'm looking for another archer and then a ranger initially. So let's have a look and see. Inspect. So there's an archer. I'm also going to look at his willpower. It's got 13 willpower. Ideally on 15, but 13 is good. So this is one person I'd definitely take on straight away. So we're going to take him on.
I'm at your service, provided you pay me handsomely.
Okay, so we use 30 influence and 54 coins. So we're going to eventually use all our influence to recruit this person, and that means we won't be able to recruit another one because we haven't got enough in the way of influence. Okay, and again, you can see here, he has similar equipment to the other archers. So in fact, what I tend to do is put them into sort of kind of areas together. So the 2 archers are put together, the ranger, and there'll be another ranger coming in. I'll put them together, and then of course then the tanks as well. He's got nothing else to upgrade at the moment. We will look at the other recruits, but again, we can't afford them at the moment. The pugilist is one of those ones that I don't really need at the moment, and I've kind of sort of stayed away from them. And a swordsman, again, I don't need a second swordsman at this time, so again, it's not something. And also, he's only got 5 willpower, and I don't really want to start having to build that up first. So if you're going to recruit somebody, it's better to build someone that's got a positive traits and high willpower. So to be honest, even if I had the money for them, I don't have the need for that at this time. The final person we're going to speak to in this particular occasion is the landlord. And before I do so, I'm going to point out to the bottom of the page, so top of the page here, you can see that there's a bar here that's running out of kind of is decreasing. This is your fatigue level, and then when it gets to 0, that's when you should be thinking about doing the camp. Now, if you're in town, you can stay in camp.
Say, it's not often you see new faces around here. Well, apart from the Edoranian war refugees, that is.
So, again...
Feel free to come back often. There's always folk looking for work around here, especially since all the fighting started across the border.
Okay, so I keep forgetting they're going to continue talking. Right, so basically, again, you've got certain options. You can either leave, do nothing. You can sing, which requires a bard. And again, it's one of those professions that really, to be honest, it's not really needed. Or you can rest. Now, resting will cost you valor points. So you can sit top of the corner at the moment, 0 out of 5. So we're going to use 3 of those to stay over and cost 51 in coin. This saves you using your food. So that's the benefit of doing that. And as you can see at the top of the screen, the fatigue level is now reset to 0, or to maximum rather, not 0, maximum, and we can leave. We have one other place we want to visit, and that is the market, or 2, sorry, but one we'll concentrate on, and that's the marketplace. So we're going to talk to, so basically here you've got food, like fruits and veg, you've got meat, and you've just got general trading marketplace as well. There's a couple of stragglers sitting around. So this one here, for example, we're going to have a talk to them.
Please, can you spare some food?
So I just get some bread, and they're
Thank you so much.
they don't do anything else. They just give you influence, and that's fine. This guy, on the other hand,
For a few crowns, I can polish your armor. Please, here we go. A little spit and polish here and there. Done. So shiny I could go blind just looking at it. Thank you for all the money. It will be well spent.
and then he steals another 20 coins and runs off. You'll catch him shortly, but it's kind of like, it's one of those things, just get out of the way, it's done. Okay, so we're going to talk to this guy here.
Come, come. Take a look at my wares.
And remember, as I said before, you can sell items as well as buy. Now, to sell an item, so we're going to get rid of both the shields. You just right-click them, and that gives you coins. I don't think... Oh, yeah, we can sell that as well. We don't need that. Everything else, I think we're okay at the moment. We need to keep... Yeah, we need to keep everything else, and I want to keep that shield as well for the time being. So we've built up some coins. We've got some leather. I'm going to take some hemp. And as you can see on here, you can either do one at a time with the right click, or you can control and you have all of them. And this is because they make rope. And again, I'll come to that in due course as well. We've got plenty of food going on what we've got here. However, it would be ideal to buy some more items.
You buy it.
So I'm going to buy all the wheat. And I'm going to buy all the salt. I'm going to do the same with this guy.
Those refugees. I understand there's a war in Edoran, but that doesn't mean they can just help themselves.
So again, I'm going to buy some chicken. And buy some more salt. Just to kind of keep the roll going. And we'll come back to that later anyway. Okay, and that's, for me, that's the marketplace all done for today. And as you can see, we can see here we've got 108 in food, which is going to cover 5 days. Because you can see it says here you have consumption of 21 per day. And one other thing I mentioned to begin with was regarding your crowns, is that obviously your troop require payment. So every 3 or 4 rests you will need to pay them. In this case it's 64 crowns. So this is why it's good to kind of get your missions started and just continue those missions quite quickly. The last place I want to visit is the tavern. Now the tavern is a place where it's an add-on. So if you've kind of purchased this game, or if you've kind of got a pass to play this game, the likelihood is you won't have the tavern. The icon will come up, but if you click on the individual in there, you won't be able to do anything with it. If you then buy the add-on, which is we saw the alert at the beginning of the game, you can then utilize the tavern. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the tavern for today, and I'll cross that on another video because it needs a bit more explanation than what we've already got at the moment. It's a way of getting extra money, and it kind of helps you. It's kind of like an idle economy, if that makes sense. But we will go into more detail at a later time on that one. Okay, so let's head on out. Looking at our weight carrying as well, we are near to where we need to be maximum-wise. So I want to get another pony, but I don't have enough money yet. So let's go and fulfill one of our missions. We look at the map. These pay the money. This one doesn't so much. So I'm going to head down south and try and do a couple of these. And again, as I mentioned before, you will find a lot of this is repetitive. It's, you know, I mean, it suits some people, not all, but I think the fact that you're able to build your troop up and build the skill set of your troop will kind of outweigh the fact that it is repetitive. That's the way I look at it anyway. Actually, I'm going to go this way first of all. The reason is, around the corner here is a prison. Oh, we got some wolves. Right, this is unfortunate timing because I wanted to get some rope done, which I haven't done yet. But let's fight them anyway. You can capture animals, you see. But we'll just deal with these just for this year. Hello, what's going on? Right, that's 2 there. And the other 2. Actually, we'll bring him forward. We're going to start with this one. We're going to head there. We're going to use one of our points for protection. So that means that basically it gains deflection on your next on the attack. They attack you. Weakening blow. And a pounding blow. And we're going to do the same again. We're going to come in here. And we're just going to finish this one off. One down. Now, on occasions, they do say, "Oh, you know, we've had enough. We're going to go," and the option to say yes or no. I'm going to go yes for this occasion because I don't need to stick around for this particular time. So we can loot all, continue, and we're going to head on round to the tower or the jail in this case. And what we're also going to do is I should have done this first actually when I recruited my companion, but my loss. We are going to upgrade to fast learning. I'm also going to utilize, hang on, what else am I going to use? Rationing, so basically you eat less food. Let's talk to the jailer.
The Lady Mayonnaise has offered a reward for any outlaw captured in the region. You should give bounty hunting a try. Okay,
so basically if you capture people, then as long as it's not the army, or the soldiers, if you capture, it's got to be outlaws, so not refugees and not soldiers, then you can get money for this as well. So I'm going to buy one chain for now. I'm also going to buy a couple of ropes, which is what I wanted to have before. And we'll stick with that. And you do have prisoners that are in here, but you do tend to find that they come with negative benefits. So this one's, in a way, is ideal. He's got a 14 willpower. He's able to carry his weight pretty much. It says does not reduce the escapability of nearby prisoners. So basically means if you have captured a prisoner, then potentially they may escape and eat some more food. The only thing is I don't think I have enough money.
As long as I am well fed, I will follow you wherever you go.
Yeah, so at the moment I haven't got enough money. I've only got 96. Now again, it's the only reason I'm looking at him is because he's a ranger with a high willpower. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be looking at him. Same here. I'm not interested in another swordsman, so that can go. I'm just going to look at his levels again. So he's got his wages are less than everybody else. He's got reasonably good movement. His dexterity is okay. He needs to build his strength up. So these are things that can all benefit, but I'm going to leave it for now. So let's head on down. Oh, pick up anything we can en route. Although saying that, I'm limited to what I can carry, but we'll pick up that anyway. Unfortunately, two of the main resources you need in game are iron ore and wood, and unfortunately, they are hard to come by. Just going to check the map again, just see whereabouts everybody is. Right, so they're up there, so let's head on up there. I think we might have to go in, because unfortunately, as you can see here, if you've got kind of stuck like in a little valley a little bit here, or a dip, you can't come directly over. You have to go around. Let's collect what's on here. Some nice venison, we'll take that. Okay. So this is one of the ones that you can gain your reward from. He's on his own, so this shouldn't take too long. Okay, right, so he's... I'll put him there actually. Where's the other tank gone? Oh, he's behind actually. Let's move him over there. Start with him. I tend to start with Percival most occasions because he can do the most damage on some occasions. So we'll head on through. He's only got 1 point available to him left, so we're going to use that on weakening blow. And then we're going to pound the hell out of him. Okay. And then we'll end the return. Actually, I've got two ranges. Sorry, two archers here, but I'm going to move with some heavier hitters again. So coming behind here, because the archers would have to come all the way out around here, and I don't think that they'll do it on this occasion. Okay, we'll move this archer, but I don't think he's going to be able to take a shot. I think he's too far, too close. Yeah, he's not close enough anyway. Same with this one. We'll move him over here, but again, he's not going to be able to take a shot. And then the last guy. Oh, remember, and also, what I remember on the battlefield, there are little things that will trip you up. So that if you run through a bear trap, for example, you will lose points. There are also items you can pick up. For example, here, comfrey stops flashing the screen. There we go. It helps you with health. There we go. Just trying to get online there. So you could pick this up and help with someone that's, say, on the dying point. But at the moment we don't need that, so we're going to move down here. So we're going to surround him. So end his turn. No, end it, not walk away. We'll do him. End of story. That's it, done. So again, we're going to collect what we got, which is quite nice because we've got a nice dagger and it's got some coins. Because we're quite away from town, I am going to use my raw materials to repair. Continue. And you can see here, if we go back to town, which is where we need to collect the money, we've got 210 coins waiting for us. Now, you don't get that until you go back into town, so you want to do it before you're due to pay out any more money. Okay, right, oh, this will be... Now, you also have, when you're you have what we call a ambush facility, which means it gives them the surprise. Right, now, hopefully we might be able to capture one of these. So they're now surprised, which is a negative to them. We're going to move Percival over there. Move him there. Where's the other archer gone? I'm not sure what point doing there. It's been there. Okay, so we're going to start with Percival again. Head towards the poacher. Now, on this occasion, I'm going to click no for the running away because I want to try and capture one of the one that's remaining. And to capture someone, they have to be less than 50% of their original bottom bar available. So at the moment, he's got 12. So if he gets below 6, you can then capture them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Percival take his go first. That takes them down to 4. Now, all being well, if you creep up behind them, because they're being distracted, here we go. So basically, when an enemy has less than half their health, you can use chains or rope to capture them. Rope is generally for the animals rather than for the people. So you've got the option here to knock out the individual. Gives you a percentage, in this case it's 64%, but it did work. He's now a prisoner. We'll take everything we need. We'll repair our one item. And we are now going to head back over to the tower. And we probably won't get there in time before the day runs out. So we're going to set up camp because we are literally coming into an end. So setting up camp, here we go. So let's upgrade our friend Argent. I should have done that on rope, never mind. So with regards to the swordsman, again, it's just making sure that you choose what's preferable for you. For me, a swordsman basically is going to give myself, now I think it's I believe it's the fighter that I want. Just want to check my own records now. Yes, because I want the destabilize and strike. That's what I want. There you go. Okay, that's my proof. Better. That's my preference. Should I say? Will increase his strength, and also because now I've got a reasonably good dagger. This is a light dagger, which is useful for I believe rangers. So Margelis. Okay, we should be able to. Yeah, we're going to equip that. So he's got a better dexterity. It was originally 3. He had poisoning skill. He's also now got so he's lost the poisoning skill, but he's gained the devious whirlwind, which is kind of like a multiple AoE attack on that basis. And I don't think we can't apply the armor. Okay, that's fair enough. And this is light armor. So it gives you, again, I just checked obviously what we got on the others to see whether or not what they got. So basic armor 5. Again, because we haven't got to the point of being able to allocate this yet, we can't allocate them their armor. Okay, this is every camp you have a workshop, and this is your tinkerer. So a tinkerer is used to be a ranger. So in this case, we are going to allocate our ranger. And again, it's one of those things I've kind of picked up as I went along from watching other people. They get more of a benefit from it. So again, if we open up Margelis, so they get a critical hit of +2%, and they can learn new recipes as they go along as well. And we're going to create some rope, or craft some rope. And that's for the purpose of animals. Going to craft some lockpicks because we will need them. And I'm also going to craft some fish hooks because we will need an angler at some point. This is why we wanted our iron ore. A hitching post will help, so basically gives you more carrying capacity for your pony, so we're going to craft that as well. It's just used 2 of my ropes, so never mind. And that will appear in your inventory, so you just bring it to the camp. He goes over there, and you just drag your pony across, and our pony now should... It's on the hitching post, so it gives you more. So you notice in the bottom right hand corner we now have more carrying capacity, so I can hold off getting another pony for the time being. Because our ranger Margelis is now our tinkerer, I'm going to drag them over to the workshop, because every rest period you do get 2 raw materials. And I'm going to sit him down, because he'll get benefits for sitting down there as well. Here's our prisoner at the moment, and we're going to take him back over to the jail in a minute. Food is the next port of call. So at the moment we cannot make a cook pot, which is what I was looking to do here, because we haven't got the facilities to do that yet. Although we might be able to in here. Workshop. So we can make a torch, we can make loads of armor and weapons. Let's have a look in here. It's in saddlebags we need to learn at some point. Although we have got 3 points, so we can use one of those. And where's the cooking pot? Down here. Alright, so we just don't have the facilities yet to do that. This makes it a... Okay, so forgive my kind of bouncing around. I'm just going to pick on things I can pick up. So blueprint for a campfire, which should then hopefully open up the cook pot. So we've got 1 point left to learn. I'll leave that for now. It'd be nice to use it up, but I don't need to necessarily use it up straight away. Although plate armor, plate helmets. No, I'm going to actually start. Yeah, that'll help with the blacksmith. There you go. Just click on the tinkering thing again. So the cooking pot has now become available, but we haven't got enough iron. So we're hopefully going to pick some of that as we go along. The cooking pot will give you better range of food. So this is where you allocate your brute to be your cook. So in fact, I think if we do it now... Oh no, it isn't available yet. So until the cooking pot is actually been set up, then you can't allocate him. That's fine. In the meantime, we are going to feed our troops. So we need to feed 21 points. Bread is worth 4. Apples are only worth 2. Chicken's worth 4. But I'm going to say the chicken because I want to cook it. Because if you cook it with salt, you will get 6 points. But you need to kind of get the meals kind of unlocked first. A carcass is a point, and to be honest, we can't all be picky and choosy, so we'll just do that. So there's just 20 points. So let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then some apples. Now, as time goes on, you will be expected to put more of a mixture in. Okay, camp at the end of the day gives you the camp report. It says that your happiness has increased by 4, so we've gone from 5 to 9. Troop happiness is, as I said, is 9 in total. They are pleased. We've gained an extra valor point, so we've now got 6 total for each person that you can build up to. We've got 2 more raw materials, so we'd used a couple before, and we've now increased them. We're back to where we were again. We can now get back on the road, and we're going to go head over to the tower. Just check where we are on the map. Yeah, so we're down here. We want to go back up here for a minute. Oh, stop beyond there. Actually, while we're going to pick up this little bit item here, whatever this is. I think. Yeah, that was iron ore. That was good. So we're now able to make our cooking pot next time round. Okay, so we go up to our friend here.
The Lady Mayonnaise has offered a reward for any outlaw captured in the region. You should give bounty hunting a try.
So you will always get this same response every time you get there. So don't, it's one of those things that they haven't kind of generated separate wordings. It's always the same thing. We're going to hand over the prisoner, which is the poacher. Now, if you had a wanted skill that was, sorry, not wanted skill, if you had wanted points that you didn't want to have, so say you'd stolen something and you'd had 20 points for stealing something, by handing over a prisoner, you reduce that back down.
Thanks for contributing to law and order.
Okay, so we had some coins in, and we can now leave. Now our friend here, I believe this was the one. No, right now, so it looks like they've changed over. So this was originally the ranger. He is now being replaced with somebody else, so I don't need him. And while we're here, we're going to do a bit of angling. And this is another one of this is another one of the 6 professions. So let's just kind of run through the 6 professions that I would choose: a cook, a blacksmith, an angler, an alchemist, a thief, and a tinkerer. And now I've just said about stealing. Do we need to have a thief? Probably not, because I don't do much. I'm not tending to do any stealing. But it's probably good to have it, because then potentially for picking locks and stuff like that. So we need to, on this occasion, choose an archer. Our other archer is already an alchemist, so let's find the third one. There he is down there. We're going to change him, and we're going to change him to an angler. Okay, so you've got the options. It's an option. Okay, so this is how you're going to do what you need to do. You just need to cast the hook into the water, and then obviously the bar will appear at the bottom, and you just keep clicking the mouse to keep it in the middle bar. So we'll drop it in. You've got to try and keep it out of the red. There we go, one pike. We'll do the same again, so you can do it 3 times. Oh, in this case, no. Go back in again. Good, and then we'll do it one more time. I think if you don't keep it within the bar, it hits the red. I think you just lose a hook. I've been lucky so far, not been able to worry about that. So that's it, 3 times, job done. We'll just walk away from there. And then what we'll do before we close the video down, we're going to head back into town, collect our bounty. And away we go. Oh, here's our friend that stole our 20 crowns earlier, so we're going to approach him.
I can polish your armor for... You? How did you find me?
Threaten him. Get your
Please
20
don't
coins
hurt
back.
me.
Now you have a choice. You can either kill him or just leave and let him go. I'll just leave and let him go. I don't see the point in just killing an unarmed man just the sheer hell of it. We're going to head back into town. We're going to go to the inn, collect our bounty.
Might you be looking for work? Our role as emissaries is to ensure that here is your reward.
So again, same wording every time. You're allowed to have 3 contracts on the go at any one time. So we've got the 2 here. Now it says that the one we originally had is easy, is now gone to average. Now that could be because of our levels of our troop. But that's not an issue. We can sort that out. But we will click on this one at the bottom. And again, it's quite a way away, but that's fine. We'll just check on our other people here. We've got a pugilist, a swordsman, and another swordsman. I don't need any more swordsmen at the moment. So that's that. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the episode now. So thank you very much for watching. Next episode, we'll go through the tavern to see what we can do with that. That's if you've obviously bought the add-on. If you haven't, don't worry. You can just skip past that part of the video when it comes up. If you've got any questions or any comments that you'd like to put in, then please do. And as always, like with any channels that are on YouTube, I'm grateful for any likes or subscribes because it does help the algorithm and gets out to more people like yourselves who'd like to see more content, especially in WarTales, for example. We'll also be looking at a bit more exploration. So, this is the small county that we're in at the moment. There's loads more to see, loads more to do. We've hardly touched the surface so far, as you can see on here. We've only discovered 7 out of 29 locations within this county alone. So there's loads to do in this area. Okay, so thanks indeed for watching, and I will catch you soon.